The first thing to say to you, though, is well done that you actually have come to MPIS, where I provider of higher education university degrees in Uzbekistan and in many other countries as well. So initially for me in the talk, I think it's worthwhile just to say, something about Bangor University, because you may not know where it is, any of its history. And it's just to introduce you to Bangor University so you know where it is, and just to help to make a decision between other places. Now, Bangor University, we're located in northwest Wales. Wales is one of the 4 countries in the UK, the United Kingdom. And we're located in a very, very pretty spot, nestled between the sea and the Snowdonia Mountains. That's a picture there of Bangor from one perspective. That's a picture from another, looking at a bridge from the Isle of Anglesey, looking over towards Bangor as well. So it's located on the coast in northwest Wales. It's worthwhile saying that's a picture of Bangor University, the campus, very green. It's also Bangor itself is very old. It's the oldest cathedral city in the United Kingdom mainland. And it's also part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So very similar to, well, the buildings are very different, of course, but similar to, I don't know, Samarkand or Khiva, where you live, which are beautiful, beautiful cities. Northwest Wales is also, gets those type of protections as well. And there's a picture of Bangor from the sky as well. It's a very small city, relatively small, but very old, in a university which is relatively old, which has been there for many years, in the centre of studies there for many years as well. Yeah, and another picture of Bangor there, one of the main buildings there, which is very Gothic and unsurprisingly has been used in many films for all sorts of things, particularly horror films, because of its Gothic look. But anyhow, in terms of Bangor, it's not just old and been around for a very long time, established in the 1880s. And been going ever since. It's also very forward-looking as well. And in the UK, it generally does extremely well in areas such as teaching, but we're particularly proud of student satisfaction. We've always held to be a very student-focused university, where we're concerned as to how students are progressing with their degrees and getting the most from their studies as well. And so we've been listed, as the top 10 in the UK for student satisfaction in generally government-led surveys. So the official surveys generally put us in this, and have done year on year for many years as well. Also in the UK, we're subject to many government inspections as well in terms of our teaching quality, and we've always received the top grade possible. So we're one of the very few universities in the UK which has always been gold and has always been rated very, very highly as well, and amongst the best in the UK, teaching generally viewed as outstanding. Also, in terms of our research, we're an old university which has always been focused on research. So research at Bangor covers a wide range of areas. We're very well known for psychology, also ocean research, not always the most important in Uzbekistan, but there are a whole range of other areas, not least of which, say, banking, which Bangor does have a reputation in, which is perhaps more pertinent here. In the UK overall, the research standing of universities in the UK are checked every 7 or so years by the UK government, and we were top 40 last time in the UK out of about 160 universities in the UK. We were top 40 in terms of our research ratings. In terms of the buildings, to just give a feel, it's offered, the university education in really one of the most beautiful locations in the UK for more than 100 years. There are a range of very old buildings as well. We have that heritage, which is important to us as well, but we're also very forward-looking as well, and lots of very modern new things as well. And so in terms of being a university, we're what you would term a mid-sized university in the UK. So we have comfortably over 10,000 students, but we're not 40,000 students, so large that we forget about people along the way. We're a university which is very focused on the students, and we're of a size where we can get to know students as well. So pictures of Bangor, where we are, what we look like, in terms of another picture of the pier again, and the university slide with lots of information jam-packed on it. Established in 1884, has a reputation for offering very student-centered education for a long time. We've always received the gold standard for our teaching as well. And saying government assessments, what we're good at, according to the UK state as well, is we do offer very, very high quality teaching relative to other universities in the UK. We're very involved with personalised support. We worry about employability, but our teaching and assessment practices and our student engagement are all valued as well. And so where we are, just on a map, just so you can see, we're very, very close to Liverpool and Manchester, and it's worthwhile saying closer to Dublin than we are London. But I always like to think of Bangor being right in the middle of the United Kingdom, most central location that there is, really. But anyway, it gives a feel for where we are and what we are in terms of the programme, in terms of being a university whose programmes you might consider taking. Now, most of the programmes offered at MDIS are offered by the Bangor Business School. There are also some programmes that are offered by Bangor University School of Computing. But I'm from Bangor Business School. I'm a professor of banking from the Bangor Business School. And most of the degrees that students do take at MDIS Tashkent are from Bangor Business School. This is our building here. And so in terms of Bangor Business School, it's worthwhile saying that we're probably well known, I think, more than anything else, for our banking research and teaching. We're ranked by, REPEC, that's an exercise undertaken by the US Federal Reserve. They put us in the top 50 for banking research globally. And we're also a centre of excellence by the Chartered Bankers Institute, the oldest institute in the world for our teaching in banking. And in terms of the actual degrees that are offered by Bangor University in Tashkent, there's a range of topics that you can study. We have the BSc Industrial Management, the BSc Business Economics, the BSc Banking and Finance, which is a degree which has been going on since 1968. To be honest, it's a very old degree, but it's been updated persistently and continuously over that period as well. The BSc Finance, Investment and Risk. There are also weather programs which are offered in the areas of tourism as well. And as I said, there are also programs which are offered in fields of computing and computer science as well, which students do take. And we do have an excellent school of computer science, which does support that as well. In terms of the degrees, if you undertake any of the Bangor degrees, each year that you're required to gain 120 academic credits for your entire degree. You need 360 credits. And you're, of course, to achieve those, you have to take lots of different modules, which are classified either as 10 or 20 credits along the way. And just to give a feel for in terms of what different degrees look like, so this is one of the degrees here, and it's just broken down in terms of years and what you're doing in each year. These are, of course, subject to change because we do update the programs frequently in order to make sure they're as useful as possible. But in the first year, say in terms of this degree, there's an importance of developing a platform of skills, particularly in areas of accounting, but also understanding some statistics, some analytical type of skills, and also some basic knowledge that you need as a foundation before you progress on to your second year, where you start taking modules which count towards your final degree level. Again, we will also always emphasize both skills as well as more evaluative subjects which pertain to certain subjects such as microeconomics, macroeconomics. And so in the final year there is a wider range of topics, but also related to a lot of skills and also different evaluative areas as well. So this is the BSc, another degree, and say this is more related to, more business orientated from an industrial perspective as well. Again, a lot of core skills here as well, a lot of emphasis on developing core skills which you can take through, as well as specific subject knowledge in certain areas such as accounting or finance as well, which lead to your final year as well as you do move through. But anyway, just give a feel for what the degrees look like and how they'll be taught. They'll also be taught in terms of using materials which are developed and used at Bangor University. But of course, MDIS Tashkent does employ some absolutely excellent faculty in Tashkent to deliver those programs. Of course, Bangor University will talk a lot with people from MDIS Tashkent. And in times when we don't have a pandemic, you will expect to see some people from Bangor University visiting from time to time because, well, one, I think everybody really enjoys visiting Uzbekistan because it's such a beautiful, lovely country to visit. But also beyond that, it's so important for us that, our degrees being operated in Uzbekistan or Bangor, they should be just as good wherever they are. And we do like ensuring that everything is running as well as it could be. Anyhow, moving on. In terms of another thing that we do pride ourselves on at Bangor is our employability type of issues. We have graduates which end up working for all sorts of different types of firms. So what I've put down here and emphasised, say my own background is I work in banking, end up talking to central bankers a lot. And I just thought I'd do a list of all the central banks, some of the central banks around the world, where we have Bangor graduates working now. So what I was saying, I have been teaching banking at Bangor since 1902. So we've had an ability to build a wider network in terms of graduates there. But hopefully it's an impressive long list. This is only just some of it. There's many more nations where, Bangor graduates do extremely well, particularly in, say, roles, say, like central banking mentioned here, but a whole range of other roles, say, in the private sector, private banker, and a range of other big blue chip firms as well. We do get everywhere as well. In terms of other things to mention, we can be going through a pandemic, and it has to be said that we have had alternative arrangements for teaching over this time. This has been I'll put up here the slide for Bangor University if you were studying at Bangor, but there's been some excellent and very well considered and well thought out arrangements organised through MDIS Tashkent as well to ensure that everything is delivered appropriately. So the first and foremost of our thinking in terms of this is always your safety in terms of this as well. Another picture of our campus. We also have award-winning accommodation if you're able to come to Bangor, although I will say it's lovely when you are studying in Tashkent as well, because it's a beautiful, really interesting major capital city as well. And really just to finish off with a couple of pictures, just really best wishes for you. Whether you choose a Bangor degree or not, of course, I'd love it if you did. But I think you're making the right decision by coming to MDIS, Tashkent, whatever. To study just full stop is so good because it prepares you not just for working within your own nation, but working globally as well. It does improve you to develop as a person, to become far more creative and just transform your prospects personally as well. So good for you for wanting to study in higher education, whatever. And just finally, just a few pictures from Bangor, which the marketing department gave me to show you as well in terms of we do have lots of happy students. And it's something that we are very, very proud of. And of course, studying for a Bangor degree is hopefully the start of a long adventure in life, really, as well. North West Wales is known for its very long zip wires, it has to be said. So that's something that, and one of our strap lines, making the extraordinary happen with MDIS Tashkent.